thought he could build a new life on lies. A house, a business, even a new girlfriend, all built on the ashes of what we planned together. So, when he moved her into our dream home, I made one anonymous phone call and watched everything come crashing down. If you've ever had someone betray you, treat you like you're disposable, and walk away like nothing happened, hit that like button right now. Because today's story is about karma. It's about standing up for yourself when a narcissist thinks. I spent 3 years with him. Let's call him Mark. He was 51, charming in that older man, smooth-talking kind of way. A self-made panel beater, always boasting about how he didn't need anyone, how he built everything himself. I used to believe that confidence was strength, but looking back, it was arrogance. When we met, I was at a low point. He swept in like a savior, made me feel chosen. He said all the right things. We'll build something beautiful together. A home. A future. And for a while, I believed him. We'd sit under the stars on his 20-acre block of land, sipping cheap wine, sketching out plans for a container home. It was supposed to be ours. But narcissists, they don't build with you. They build over you. Slowly, his compliments turned into criticism. You're too sensitive. You wouldn't understand how hard I work. You should be grateful someone like me even wants you. Every insult was a tiny blade, cutting pieces off my self-worth. By the time I realized I was being emotionally starved, I was already hooked, caught between who I thought he was and who he really was. The final straw came one night when I asked him about the shed he was building on the property. He got defensive, almost panicked. It's not your concern anymore, he snapped. That was new, not my concern. 2 weeks later, I found out why. Through a mutual friend, I heard he had a new girlfriend. Not just a fling. He was moving her into that same shed we'd planned to turn into our home. My chest went cold. I remember sitting in my car, parked outside that property, staring through the trees at what used to be our dream. He had moved on like I was a discarded project, while I was still trying to remember how to breathe without him. And that's when something inside me shifted. The heartbreak turned into something sharper. Not hatred. Just justice. You see, I knew things about Mark. Things he thought I was too naive to understand. Like how he'd been doing all his repair jobs for cash, no invoices, no taxes. And that little container home? Completely unpermitted. No septic system, no safety measures, nothing. In a bushfire-prone area, that's not just illegal, it's dangerous. So I made a decision. If he was going to build a new life on lies, I'd make sure it crumbled legally, piece by piece. I sat down one quiet evening, laptop open, fingers trembling but determined. And I wrote an anonymous letter. Dear Counsel, I began. As a concerned neighbor, I feel obligated to report an illegal structure on a location omitted. The building appears occupied, including children, and there are no visible permits, septic systems, or fire compliance measures. There were no children, of course. But I knew that little detail would guarantee an inspection. I hit send and exhaled. For the first time in months, I felt powerful again. A few weeks passed. I didn't expect much to come of it. Bureaucracy is slow, right? But then one morning my phone buzzed. It was a mutual acquaintance. Hey, have you heard about Mark? Council hit him with a massive fine. I tried to sound surprised. Oh, what happened? He laughed. They said he's living in an illegal structure. Something about no occupancy permit. $17,000 fine. And another $28,000 for the building itself. I muted the phone and just laughed. Full, uncontrollable, tears in my eyes, laughter. That shed, his castle, his dream, was ordered to be removed entirely. I could almost picture it. Mark, red-faced, screaming at some poor council officer, his girlfriend standing behind him, realizing this man she moved in with was a fraud. But I wasn't done. Because, remember, I knew about his cash jobs. So I made another anonymous report, this time to the tax office. I don't know what the final outcome was, but I can imagine the chaos. Him digging through old receipts, trying to justify years of under-the-table work, sweating bullets as letters from the ATO arrived one after another. It must have felt like the universe itself was closing in. Do I feel guilty? Not one bit. Because this wasn't just about revenge. It was about reclaiming power from someone who thrived on taking it. For so long, he made me feel small, like I was crazy for expecting decency, or love, or even honesty. But the moment those fines hit, I realized something important. Narcissists only win when you let them. They rely on silence, on your hesitation, on your fear. The second you stop playing by their rules, they crumble. And oh, did he crumble. The last time I heard about Mark, he'd had to tear down the structure entirely. His girlfriend left soon after, apparently couldn't handle the drama. He's now back to renting a tiny unit in town, hustling for cash jobs, still pretending he's self-made. Meanwhile, I've moved on. New job, new peace. And every time I drive past that empty property, I smile. Because he thought he'd found paradise, but all he really built was his own downfall. And I just gave fate a little push. Justice doesn't always come from the courts or karma. Sometimes, it comes from a quiet woman with a pen, a plan, and a backbone that finally refused to bend. Don't underestimate the power of someone who's done being hurt. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen someone pull off? And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories of karma, courage, and poetic justice. Because sometimes revenge really is a dish best served anonymously.